Alright, so I figured today would be a good opportunity to review the Slide-Hammer Kit. I've been wanting to make a video on it for a while. I've had this thing for some time. I'm pretty sure I bought it back in 2017, but it is the OTC 4579, and yeah, I really like this kit. Now, I don't use this thing every day, but I will say I have used it a good number of times for as long as I've owned it, and I've never had a single problem with anything in this. I think it's all very well made, and no regrets about buying this thing. Now, let me show you what we have here. We've got the actual slide hammer itself. This has a decent amount of weight in it. I'd say, I don't know. Well, I don't want to guess. It probably says on the website, but the mechanism, it's very sturdy. It's very solid. You know, it's a pretty simple tool. And on this end, there's this threaded portion here onto which we can put a whole variety of things. There's, of course, this little hook which you can latch onto things and pull them off with. There's also these three bolt holes on one side, puller apparatuses. I don't think I've ever actually used these, but I believe these are in here so you can, you know, latch onto various pulleys and discs and things along those lines. There's also this little deal that has these three claws, and it works kind of like a gear puller does in that respect. Plus, you've got this, which I guess you can like latch on to studs if you have a stud welder. I don't. I've never really used that. And then some other stuff in here as well. So basically, there's I've never actually gone to use the Slide-Hammer Kit and never been able to rig up a way to use it on whatever I needed to just with what's included in the kit itself. Now today, we are going to be changing the rear wheel seals on what was an old F350. It's about to become my new farm trailer. We're like halfway through that process. And these seals, I think this one is actually in pretty decent shape, but the one on the opposite side was leaking quite heavily, and it did not want to come out at all. In fact, it is right here. I tried the old trick of drilling a couple holes in this. I was trying pretty much everything I could think of, but I've been able to make it work with the slide hammer, so we'll see if we can get this one out just as easily. Now, one of my favorite things about this tool kit is this specific adapter, and this has the same threading on it as this adjustment knob, which typically goes in the back of a vice grip. And this is nothing fancy. This is just your standard Irwin brand vice grip here. Now, I've seen variations of this that are shop built. I've never seen a store-bought one other than this, but basically we can screw this in here. And then we can come and grab onto something like this old seal. I think it's going to take a couple tries to get this to come out. The last one did. Then we can screw this in. And needless to say, guys, don't be screwing something like this in only a thread or two, because the more threads that are engaged into the adapter you're using, the less force that they take individually, and the tool will last longer. And just like that, we can pull on something we're holding on to with our vice grips. This is probably my single favorite adapter with the kit, and I'm pretty sure I use this more than any other specific tool in that toolbox. So let's see what happens here. Yeah, it's gonna be, we gotta get past this. We gotta tear off this rubber part of the seal until we can get onto the steel part. See if we can help it along here a little bit. That's good for it. Okay, well, just like that, it works. That is a seal that's probably the original. I don't actually know if it is or not, but the truck is a 1993, so there's a good chance it is the original seal. You know what? Actually, I'm starting to think, let's see, where does it say oil side? All right, so it goes in like that. I'm actually starting to think this seal has been replaced at some point. I want to be honest and tell you guys this probably hasn't been in here for 25 years because the text on this looks like the text on the new seal, and it's different than the one that came off the other side. So I think someone just replaced the seal on one side of this and not both, and I really wish they'd done both, because if they had, then we wouldn't have to change this now. But alas, that's just the way it is, and I've cleaned out the gunk from around here. We'll use the old seal to tap in the new one here. Well, now I know what I have, and we got a new seal in here. So that's yet another successful use of this Slide-Hammer Kit. Like I said, I really like this. No regrets about buying it. It was not the cheapest thing on the internet at the time, of course, but I don't remember exactly what I paid for it, but I remember thinking it was actually pretty, hang on here. But I remember thinking that it was actually quite reasonable, and I stand by that now that I've owned it for a while and used it a good number of times, and have never had a problem with it or anything in it. So, as usual, just for those that are not regular, long-time viewers of the channel, I am not affiliated with OTC, it's just a review. But I will say, I'll try to come up with an Amazon affiliate link for this, so if any of you guys do decide to buy the Slide-Hammer Kit, or really anything else that's on Amazon, let's see, I'll put this back together so we don't lose it, then the channel earns a small commission, which helps to make non-sponsored videos like this possible. So, yeah, that's my review of this. Yeah, really no regrets. You know, one lesson that I've kind of learned the hard way over the years is that when you buy the cheapest of anything, you're always kind of reminded that it is the cheapest thing you could find, or you cheap down on it, or whatever the situation might be. And it's not really a positive thought whenever you go to use it. And on the other hand, when you buy something that's nice like this, even though it really wasn't what I consider to be outrageously expensive, every time you go to use it, you're like, man, I'm really thankful that I have this thing. I'm also really thankful I didn't just drop it on my foot right there. And yeah, you know, you get over the loss of the extra 20 bucks or whatever it was you paid for the proper one, and you're really glad you have it every time you go to use it. So, I think I'm gonna put this back on the shelf for next time. It's all full of grinder dust. I'm sure it's healthy to be ingestifying. All right, yep, random video, random review. Video's over, everyone go home. Thanks for watching, enjoy.